All right, welcome to another whiteboard session. Riveting stuff here, I know, but I think it's important to look at some of the physiological, pharmacological things that are happening in our body if we're going to take medicine. Okay, medicine today is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRI, and they're commonly the first line of defense as far as pharmacology goes for depression. And a lot of our clients that are on these have tried these and they don't like them because of the side effects, typically a feeling of blasé, dull, not necessarily like crashing depressed, like there's something to be had on a 30 to 40% scale, but they're just not finding any joy or bliss in their life, and they should be. Also, sexual dysfunction and decreased libido is also a common side effect, which I would be pretty depressed too if I was feeling like that. So, and the way these things work, we're going to go through, this would be the presynaptic cleft where it houses all the neurotransmitters, okay? The selective serotonin specifically. And then they shoot across the synaptic cleft into the postsynaptic receptor zone, and then from the postsynaptic cleft receptor zone, you have your downward regulation of mood enhancement. So normally what happens is from the presynaptic cleft, like whatever happens, release it, whatever it could be the time of day, just could be a cool experience is happening, whatever. So they go in bursts, so boom, they launch a bunch of neurotransmitters, they attach to the receptors on the postsynaptic cleft, and then, like I said, you have your downward effects. And then what neurotransmitters aren't collected on these receptor sites, so we'll go 4 here, 4 sites, right? These extra ones get taken up into the synaptic cleft, called reuptake, okay? And so SSRI stands for Selective Serotonin Reuptake Inhibitor. So here's what happens when we take SSRIs, okay? So presynaptic cleft, they want to release, okay? They release, and then only so many get to each receptor site, right? So that receptor site is filled, and you have your effect downhill. Great. But what happens is that the extra ones, they don't get uptook into the presynaptic cleft. So they're just kind of hanging out in the synaptic cleft is what we call this. So they're just hanging out waiting their turn. Okay, so once this has done its duty, it falls off, and then boom, another one attaches, and boom, another one attaches. So we're losing our burst. Load the synaptic cleft, it captures, and you have your effect, and then it, reloads and waiting for another burst. This doesn't really have a burst, okay? So you're just constantly hanging out in the synaptic cleft, occupying the receptor sites, which then causes this receptor that is being constantly occupied to have a desensitization. So it becomes bogged down, and then now we're not having any burst effect, and it's just kind of labile. And so that's where we get our flatness, okay? So because we're overloading the site, we're introducing more neurotransmitters to the receptor site, but it has a diminish and return effect, okay? So it might work for a little while, but after a while, these receptor sites are getting way tired, and now we're not having our burst effect of normal, what happens normally, naturally, okay? So it's like we have good intentions, but we're actually wrecking our receptor sites because they're just getting desensitized, and when they become desensitized, you're not having that burst of mood adjustments, okay? So you're just gonna be flat affect plus the decrease in libido and erectile dysfunction. So there you have it, under 5 minutes. Be well.